Hello, everyone, and thanks for coming along to this webinar today, hosted by Datnexa. We're a innovation partner who works across public service, public sector, people aligned in doing good things in the world. And we're very pleased today to be joined by Dmitrij, who's a globally leading software testing and QA professional. Dmitrij's in Lithuania, where he works for Insoft, and they're dealing with a lot of complex real-world systems. He also teaches at Vilnius University. He's the president of the Lithuanian Software Testing Qualifications Board, and kind of as part of that, takes a global role, kind of doing things there. I had the pleasure of kind of hearing Dmitrij speak and getting to know him whilst talking in conjunction with the Lithuanian government a few months ago, and on the back of that, I just thought the presentation that he's about to give, and also the way that he's able to explain things to us in ways that, not as developers, but actually, as commissioners, as service owners, as policy professionals, as digital experts, who are kind of using this kit, using this emerging AI stuff, and giving us this sort of real world context of, if you're a non-technical or you're fairly technical, but not in the guts of writing code and deving, how do you get quality assurance baked in? How do you make sure that AI tools are good? And indeed, what does good look like? So I think today, Dmitrij is drawing upon his experience in terms of test automation and all of those other good things, and is able to walk through practical ways to think about AI from the start, from first principles, to, actually lift the cover off and give us a bit of a warts and all on the reality of using AI in coding, but also, kind of having AI in code to build code as well. So yeah, we'll have some time for questions later, and drop them in the chat or leave them till the end, and I will stop blaring on and hand over to Dmitrij. So thanks for coming along, and yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Adam, for you, it's gonna be, how to say, some of the things you're already aware of. Some of it will be a status update where we are today. I would like to share my slides. Hope you can see it.
Yes, all good.
Okay. So thank you for a great introduction. I would like to add to it a little bit. I work for Insoft, so we have presence in UK, in Reading, but our head office is in Lithuania, in Vilnius. So I decided to kickstart it with just pointing on a map where I sit. So I'm headquartered in Vilnius, Lithuania. That's the capital of Lithuania. Just 2.5 hours flight away from probably majority of you, if you're all based in UK. Hello from Lithuania, from the land of Lithuanian Vikings. And a quick introduction, what is this region about? So we are amber jewelry country. We have a lot of amber jewelry. If you can see in the video, I'm also wearing one. Adam, I hear some background noise. Okay, that's sorted. So yeah, the land of amber jewelry. Guess what? Probably like the football is popular in UK. Our top sport is basketball. We call it second religion in Lithuania. So we're crazy about basketball, and we eat, I would say, very unique, maybe a bit strange food. We have cold beetroot soup. We quite often serve baked bread with a glass of beer, and eat potato zeppelin stuffed with meat. So that's a short introduction where I'm coming from. That's my reality around here. Just a short trip advice if you find yourself traveling across the region, some things to try out. But today, I'm here with you to talk about AI in general, the culture of using AI. And I'm coming from 3, let's call it, different backgrounds. I have 3 different hats. I teach software testing at the university. I do researches, but I would not these days claim myself being an AI expert, even though I have some expertise in that area that I would share with you. I have some practice in an international arena of software testing, and I see the latest trends. And as part of the Insoft, we've been providing services for public sector for the past 20 years. And in Insoft, I'm driving the AI adoption across different roles, different projects. And I would like to share today's just a simple, honest report, my experience, what is working well, what challenges we're facing, where things are heading. And my perspective is actually a blend of these three sub-perspectives. And Adam, Joe, just before the meeting, you were advertising this webinar, and there was a good question sent. Do you trust your AI? Ask QA. Well, I decided to bring that question up. So, do I trust AI, or do you all trust AI? And whenever I think about it, I like to bring up this anecdotal example some of you probably are well aware of. But before my presentation, I fact check it. So today, this morning, I opened Claude. I've used simple haiku model, and I've reproduced it. I've asked the question, I want to wash my car, and the car wash is just nearby. Should I walk or should I drive? Well, the answer still remains the same, Adam, since April and probably before that. It's still advising me that driving makes only sense if it's a bad weather. Otherwise, it's not advising me. So by looking at this example, I would say, do we trust the AI? I think it's not about the trust. We should not trust it. We should study what it is. We should understand what it is. And this is really a challenging, new, emerging thing. Over the past, months, weeks, it's evolving so fast that it's amazing hard to keep up. So what was wrong in this example that I've just previously showed with a car wash? It's a good example of garbage in, garbage out concept, which is more than 50 years old. I did prompt it in a wrong way. I did one shot of a bad prompt, and I received equally matched response. So what's emerged across all the industries, across our all lives, it's prompt engineering discipline. And it's still evolving. I'm showing some basic concepts on this slide. I think it's already went a next level. I will show you these key items, what are necessary for IT world to be really productive and utilize AI to higher extent. But nevertheless, I did a zero shot in my previous example. If I would go for a few shot, if I would provide more context, if I would track the chain of thought, I would assign a role, expect an output of the Gen AI, of the LLM. I would be providing feedback, or I would share some examples. All these things would make a big difference. But the problem with this prompt engineering, I've heard that in Lithuania, one of the universities introduced, well, they were fast. I think they introduced a degree or maybe something like that. But nevertheless, I see a huge challenge as working at the university. We update curriculum once per year, and there is a committee that needs to approve it. What 1 year, 12 months means for the Gen AI world? I mean, it's changing. I'm out on vacation for 1 week. I come back and I'm stressed that I need to catch up regarding all the things that have happened. In the world of testing, in a world of certifications, our global organization, we have GenAI certification, we have for testers, we have AI certification for testers, and still it takes us half a year to push updates through. And it's too long because on the scale of GenAI, things are changing on hourly and sometimes weekly basis. But nevertheless, these prompt engineering techniques is very important thing, and it's important to study it. And we are challenged, all of us are challenged, that we are basically faced that we have to self-pace, learn it. Because it's not in curriculums, it's not that common. And at the university, this spring, I had more than 100 students, 66 of them participated in the survey. They are all computer science students, geeky IT people. And at the beginning of the course, I asked all of them, which AI tools do you use? Have to say, let me check. It's just two people who answered that they don't use AI. And only one student I know in particular, she said that that's her deliberate choice. She just doesn't want to use it for her studies, and that's her philosophy. But most of the students, they use multiple tools. And typically they are not taught to that level. They are all, majority of them, they are self-learners. And I also ask the question, how comfortable are students with prompt engineering? And I consider it already a win that they know what prompt engineering is, even though I would say they are overconfident regarding their skills based on the work they are doing. The practices differ, but definitely they are practicing it. So this is part of our everyday life. And my personal path with adopting and learning AI, I would call it roller coaster. And it follows all the emotional cycles of change from, optimism, pessimism, being optimist again, and it goes in circles. Even those authorities, those leading experts in AI that I follow, track the news based on different tools, usage, etc. Even from them, I hear a lot of frustration regarding how fast things are evolving. Nevertheless, it's an interesting journey, because probably that would be a bottom line of the whole presentation. You have to practice it. When you practice, you get really to a confidence level and to successful scenarios. But as I like to emphasize, I like to implement simple things that work, simple, not to overcomplicate. I'm a believer that simple things work, and I will show you a few examples in a bit. Before I get there, I would like to quickly quote several studies. So this is a study dated 2025 October, less than a year ago. Huge. It was a long time ago for the AI world, but nevertheless, it's an interesting study that because of the whole hype with the AI, it was being implemented everywhere where possible by organizations. And not everyone likes to admit things are going wrong. But this study reports that 9 out of 10 tasks performed by AI are performed worse than human would do. And for me personally, well, I've noticed a lot of things like this when you're talking to chatbots. Indeed, 9 out of 10 interactions for me turn out human agent please, because it's not helping, it's taking you sideways and not resolving your issue. But 1 out of 10 was noted that actually showing some success, and software development or software testing is the area that is among those showing success. And I fully understand why. And today I can confirm from practice reports, we're practicing a lot. There are a lot of repetitive, tedious tasks in software development lifecycle that can be really streamlined and automated using AI. And here, I think it's important key we have to distinguish. It's not in this regard, it's human and AI combination, human in the loop, whenever we call it. But when we use human creativity, direction, AI really supports human, providing cases that you would have never thought about, really supporting human in speeding things up. But at the same time, human is helping AI to stay on track and really do what it's supposed to do. So IT tasks, software development tasks is clearly in 2025 we're showing progress, and it's a game changer today. But I would like to quote one more study, which I think is very thought-provoking. It was conducted in early 2025. What is the productivity gain if developers use AI? And that was the question to the developers before the study. They were expecting to reduce task completion by 24% with the use of AI. When they actually completed their tasks, study showed that they believed that they performed 20% better, that the time was reduced by 20%. And surprisingly enough, the data showed that use of AI increased task completion the opposite, almost the same 20%. It was 90%. Here, I would not judge it right away. I think it's hints something as well. When you use AI or agentic tools for software development, definitely, and anyone in software development would confirm that you're able to use faster and you're able to produce higher quality results. But it results usually in higher quality. That means there is a gray area of a technical debt, because software always has errors, has defects that haven't been found yet or haven't manifested themselves. We're definitely able to produce better results than we used to do it before. But it can also result in tasks taking a bit longer to complete. So with that, I would like to say I'm quite conservative person. We don't rush implementing stuff. I like to say I believe it when I see it. We started small. But before I get to these examples, I would like to bring up the concept of vibe coding. So why do we still do coding? Why don't we just generate the whole systems, the whole features, and trust it to the AI? This is a new term, just coined last year. And this is typical official definition of the vibe coding. I find an issue with this concept right here. It says often with limited technical skills. And we decided to reinvent this term. And what if it's done by someone with deep technical skills? How to do this? Well, it's a challenge and a huge opportunity. But as I mentioned, start small, fail fast. We ran a series of experiments of assigning the same task to different teams, different individuals, and trying to compare the outcomes. And I've participated in these experiments myself, and I've faced those failures myself. And I was surprised that you can really get to the level where the outcome is satisfactory. Or there are things that people are doing that outcomes are really, really good compared to others. And I've started collecting all these findings to take it to the organization level, that we adapt all these good practices. And I have written key things on this slide. Apologies for a lot of text, but I think it's really important. And the first one is detailed planning. When you're using your LLMs locally, agents, whatever tools you use, it's important to really do a detailed planning. And those who were really successful in accelerating their development, accelerating feature development, or even accelerating the whole module or system development, they were really, really heavy on detailed planning and going back and forth with the LLM, really polishing the plan. It can take hours, it can take days, sometimes weeks, going back and forth, clarifying all the implementation details, setting expectations, building skills, using skills, downloading skills, tracking content, context, starting all over again. It's all matters. It's a combination of all of these. And once this process is mastered, and we've really seen a lot of progress here, that's when you can start really moving to the agentic orchestration. I would not call it fully agentic. I would call it supervised, because human in the loop is the key for all of these. And that's where you can really scale. But again, start small, fail fast. So what we did at Insoft as organization, we didn't want to go to our customers and drop the solution or start vibe coding for them. We did a lot of experiments internally for something we use internally. It was a safe playground, safe environments. Anyone can find their safe environments, safe playgrounds. We did a bunch of POCs that turned out a real solutions, a real software. And just a few examples of these recent ones that we have launched. We've launched Agentic code review process. Besides all the AI LLM tools that our testers, developers, business analysts are using, we have a solution that performs code reviews. You can select different models, local LLMs, APIs to perform a code review. You can trigger it manually, or you can integrate into your SDLC, and it's performed automatically. So I have obfuscated, hopefully, all project details from the screenshot. But the thing is, it did take a look at all the changes developer has made. It looks at those changes in the context of the whole source of the application, of the bespoke, custom-built application. And the beauty of it is, depending on which, of course, model you use, depending on how you fine-tune your system, but this particular code review costs 8 cents, almost 9 cents. It's just peanuts compared to what it would cost for a human to look at. I'm not saying humans shouldn't look at it. Definitely, all changes should be reviewed by human. But imagine you're partnering human and AI. That really helps. For us as a software development company, we're always under the pressure. I think that's quite rule of thumb for whole software development. And quite often we have tasks stuck in to be reviewed before they are moved further for testing, further for deployment to the customer. It's a bottleneck area that we have addressed by automatic code reviews. That's done by AI, and really it's quite cheap once you fine tune it properly. And my second example, also quite recent, I have launched automated testing service, and we're configuring launching it for our customers and considering to offer it to the broader audience. The pain point here was that checking the user flow is important. No matter how well you monitor the whole system, how much logs, diagnostics you have, still there are cases when user flow doesn't work or users are facing some issues, defects, outages, whatever. You need to make sure that these flows work, either in test environments or sometimes even in production as well. But if you scale it, if you have a lot of automated tests and scripts, there is a pain to maintain it because you change something in the app and you have to change your automation as well. To address that, and we've been facing a lot of issues like that, we have implemented 2 agents right now into this pipeline. More to come. One agent performs analysis whether this is a defect or not, or this is a test issue. It has a lot of safeguards. It's very, very challenging task really to fine-tune it to the level that it can run autonomously. But nevertheless, there is a supervision of all, we call it triaging, all the analysis, all the defects reported. They are all human checked. But AI performs it right away, checks what's wrong, and reports the defect to the customer right away. And what I like about it, it reports it human-readable format and technical format. It explains what went wrong that non-technical person can easily understand what broke. And the same report can be used by developer to really diagnose further what's wrong. But if this is a test issue and those false positives happen quite often, especially if you have a large fleet, we should fire a second agent that goes there and fixes the tests, reruns the tests, and it also has safeguards if the change is too big or the confidence level drops or it takes too much time, etc., etc., etc. The agent says, okay, I quarantine this test, and the tester needs to take a look to provide further guidance, further instructions. So that's how we secure that there is always human in a loop. And you learn on these cases how to really trust AI to which level and how to monitor it, how to supervise it. And more to come. At the university, I'm supervisor for students that do their bachelor thesis. We are doing researches to add different agents to check different software quality characteristics to improve SDLC across different levels to help developers, help business analysts really produce higher quality results. It's an ongoing thing. I'm hoping that we would add additional checks, additional agents that actually, like in the previous example, just taking, I don't know, 1 to 10 cents per run, really to do those targeted checks that provide value. And the big value to the customers, to the clients, and at the end, simplify our life as software developers. So, Adam, that brought me to the end of my presentation. I didn't want to take it too long. I was looking forward to a discussion. Basically, I've covered what I discussed previously, added new examples. And traditionally, I would like to finish my presentation saying that artificial intelligence amplifies the need for real intelligence. And I think it's human and AI combination that really rocks today.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, I mean, that is so fascinating. I think the those updates and I think kind of the nervousness that's there, that you've got this ability to vibe code, which actually will mean like a proliferation of code in a way that we've never seen before. And in the way that we've kind of seen, AI slop appearing in other forms, the potential of then this creeping into the vibe code space, and actually, I think kind of the element of assurance that this offer, this kind of that it offers, and this sort of the potential to kind of say, well, actually, if you're managing a group of developers, that's one thing. If you're managing a relationship with an agency or a technical provider who's then managing, that's another step removed. The ability to understand how quality assurance is provided when potentially they're using, kind of tools to speed up their processes or think things through, I think is super key. And also the way that it can kind of deploy at scale and also manage itself to an appropriate extent, I think is really exciting. I think what we'll do is thank you so much for the presentation.